Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the best and highest quality game in the entire Assassin's Creed franchise. No matter which country you choose, gameplay, visual, open world, exploration, Odyssey is top level in all of them. People say the old games were good and the new ones are bad, but it depends what you mean. From a gameplay point of view, Odyssey is the best game in whole franchise. When Ubisoft first made Assassin's Creed RPG, Origin, still was unfinished in some ways. Maybe people say it was a RPG, but your character had skins instead of real armor, and that kills the RPG feeling. Still, Odyssey was the peak, and I think Valhalla was a downgrade from Odyssey. In terms of armor, building, combination, skills, and how they work together with weapons, Odyssey is much better. The spear upgrades, the skill tree, and the gear system are very strong. And plus, you never get bored even though the game is huge. Both the map and the story. If you get bored, you can hunt the Cult of Cosmos. If that gets boring, you can hunt mercenaries. It doesn't matter. If that gets boring even, you can do main missions. If that gets boring, you can do side quests. And by the way, many of them, side quests, are better than main missions in other games. Some side quests feel like whole game, for example, hunting legendary creatures. People say that Odyssey is too fantastical, and that's not false, but people use that as point against it and say because Odyssey is fantasy, it's bad. But then the old Assassin's Creed games should also be bad. In the old games you have the Animus, machine that sends you hundreds of years into the past. You have Magic Apple that can knock out dozens of people at once, one click. You jump from high point, land in pile of leaves, and stand up more easily that I get out of bed in the morning. That's not a fantasy? People only think this way because the old Assassin's Creed games came first. They were the originals, so people accept their fantasy elements. But I'm sure that if Odyssey and Valhalla had come out first, and the older games like AC2, Brotherhood and Black Flag came later, people would have the exact same reaction, maybe even worse. They will say that old games are too simple, AC2, Brotherhood and stuff, and have weaker gameplay. That's true, by the way, and that's not automatically bad. Simply can be good, but it's still the fact that the old Assassin's Creed games are much more basic in gameplay. And people also say that Odyssey has weaker story. Seriously? A story where you want to kill your own father and then you actually meet him. Story where your whole family is destroyed when you are child and you are thrown off cliff. That's bad, by the way. Story where your mother is missing and you spend the game trying to find her. Story where you discover your sister is alive but she's your enemy and you can decide whether to kill her or save her. A story where you fight the Cult of Cosmos, basically the same role as the Templars. The story where people close to you die and later you meet them again in the afterlife. A story where you learn who created the first assassin blade. You meet that man and you marry his daughter. A story where you meet Hades and Poseidon. And just from this short list alone, this is a weak story. So why does Odyssey have the best gameplay in the entire franchise? Here's a simple test you can try, by the way. When you start the game, how do you kill enemies? You basically have dodge, slash and parry. That's it. It's normal, okay? But in the middle of the game, and especially the end, you are a completely different player. By the end, you are almost demigod, and that means the game has a real progression system. Your gameplay is not one-dimensional, it constantly changes. You play differently depending on what build you choose, assassin, warrior, hunter or mix of them. And that depends on the skills you use, the abilities you unlock, the armor you wear and the perks you combined with your gear. Every build feels different, every playstyle feels different. In the old Assassin's Creed games, it's not like that. You kill the first enemy the same way, in the middle of the game, and at the end of the game. And yeah, that makes sense, those are old games, I understand. RPG systems were not deeply integrated back then, okay? I'm not insulting the old games, I'm just saying facts. The gameplay variation is what puts Odyssey on higher level. Now you might say, you just hate the old games, that's why you are saying this. No, that's not why. From the old games, Brotherhood was amazing for me, especially the Brotherhood system. It was phenomenal. You could build your own Brotherhood, level them up, and use them in real fight. That system was incredible, and for some reason Ubisoft completely forget about it. Nobody talks about it anymore, and that's weird. You know why people say the old games are better? It's emotional. When we were kids, everything feels new. Even if something is trash, we remember it as a good. And instead of talking about what the old games actually did well, people just remember the past as something perfect. They don't really analyze the games. The brain points the past as beautiful and pleasant. Even bad memories feels good sometimes. I can go much deeper into all of this, but for the first video, this is enough, I think. If you have your own queer opinion, write it comments, like and subscribe. Thank you.